Okay, here it is. Trash can grill. Sounds like a... In this video, we're going to show you how to make yourself a trash can barbecue, grill, or smoker, whatever you want to do with it. And we'll talk about why you would maybe want to do this and why I did it and everything else. So stay tuned. Okay, we got this all cooked down. You can see that it's kind of gone to a grayish haze look. That is the zinc oxide layer that has formed, and we're just let this cool down a little bit. So I got some hardware. My trash can that I bought did not have a handle on the lid. I guess that's a new feature, and so I bought a handle that I'm going to bolt on it. Everything comes with screws, but we're going to use little bolts. So I've got some 1/4 inch bolts and nuts for and I got stainless steel just so that they don't rust out, and I figured why not. So I'm going to bolt the handle onto those, and then I got 2 packages of these 1024 by 3/4 inch long bolts, and then I also got, well, they're called machine screws, but it doesn't really matter. And I got these brackets. These are Lango brackets. I'm going to use those. We're going to bolt those to the inside so that we have area to lay our grill tray. So, one other thing we're going to do with the trash can is we got some sand over here. I'm going to put some sand in there, and I'm going to just shake it around with some sand just to sand off any loose particles or anything from the zinc oxide that we've created by burning that barrel. I wanted to address one thing. I know that there's going to be a lot of people that are concerned about the fact that this is a galvanized trash can or a zinc plated trash can, and we're worried about zinc fume fever and other metal fume fever and all kinds of wacky stuff you heard about on the internet. Let's just talk a little bit of logic. So zinc that this is plated with, it melts at about 780 some odd degrees Fahrenheit, and the oxidization of zinc in heat is at over 1700 degrees Fahrenheit. If you're cooking a piece of meat at 1700 degrees, you don't know what you're doing, and you better just forget about it. So hopefully your grill, when you're doing a trash can grill, is sitting at about 250 degrees, maybe 300 tops if you're really cooking fast, not anywhere near the temperatures to even melt zinc. That's why we preheated this and burned it real good. When I was heating it, I could see the zinc melting, and it was, you could see it turn to liquid form, and then it would oxidize. And so anything that was loose or whatever, it's burned out. There's nothing left that's going to cause any sort of contamination or potential hazard. We're going to work on our lid here. We're going to put our handle on. Now, hopefully your trash can comes with a handle. You don't have to do this part. This, for whatever reason, this is a new feature. No handle. You just pull it by the edge. That's kind of weird to me. So we got our 1/4 inch bolts. We got our 1/4 inch nuts. And we're going to add a handle right here in the middle. I think what we're going to do. We got, put a handle right here somewhere like that. The other thing we also want to add to this lid is some vents. We want to have a control of our airflow, because that controls our heat. I'm now thinking about this lid, and the only real flat spot on this thing is right here in the center. So I think I'm going to change my design here and put a vent thing here, put the handle off to the side here, because the handle doesn't have to be in the center. I can pop it off. I think I'm going to have to kind of grab it by the rim and knock it off anyway, because the way this lid fits and the way it's designed. And so having the handle, this is a hollow handle, so it should hopefully not get as hot. But I'm going to build a little vent right here in the middle. So I've got a bolt, got extras of these. We're gonna, I cut this little circle out of tin. The whole point of this kind of a project is to use what you have kicking around. And so I found a piece of tin I had kicking around. I'm gonna cut some little triangles into this, and we're gonna make this into an adjustable vent right there. So let me get set up for that. I'm eating a cucumber from the garden. It's a good day when you have a cucumber. All right. Now we're going to cut this close to the center, but not all the way. We're going to just get about there. We're going to do that approximately 120 degrees. This is a third of a circle. This is not scientific. This is DIY. Build it as you go. Some pliers, or if you have a hand brake is for bending metal. I have a hand brake, but it's out my work truck, so I'm not going to bother. I'm just right here. We're going to bend some tabs. Just kind of bend it. Now, there's all kinds of ways you could do this. I was looking at different builds before I started doing this, and someone used a couple of tuna cans or cat food cans, soup cans, and they put them bottom to bottom with a hole, and they cut holes just like this, made vents with two cans, and then they taped it with aluminum tape, real, what I call duct tape. Duct tape is not what people think it is. Duct tape seals ducts, and it's aluminum, or fiber reinforced tape, but not that gray plastic stuff. That's pretend duct tape. So, got our little vent thingy like this, and we got these things so we can, and then we're going to cut some triangle holes in the top of this lid, and then we will bolt that down. That looks about right. We're going to put a little circle in the center. We're going to trace out a triangle here. And again, these vents are to control air, because that controls heat, and that is how we control whether we're cooking, smoking, or burning our meat. Hole. Now this drill bit's sharpened to a lot pointier point, which works better for drilling holes in steel, thin steel, tin, like this. If you've got a drill bit that has a very abrupt point like this, like typical sharpening, it grabs and tears. This really sharp point drills a lot nicer going through thin metal. A little bigger hole there. For better snips. These are junk snips, man. I shall return with the proper tools. There is a reason why we don't shop at the discount tool shop that everyone else shops at. A lot of these places sell made in China stuff, and that's not to say that things that are made in China are no good, because some things are, but these happen to be Weiss, or with the German accent, Weiss, because I think they were invented in Germany during World War II, probably, back when all the good tools were made. These are real tin snips. So I'm going to These ones are made for cutting circles. These are made for cutting straight. We're cutting straight. We're going to try these. They have little teeth in them, little serrations that grab hold of metal in. You can just see that? Just look at that. Just look at that. Cut it without any messing around. Those other ones are just all over the map. Alright, so I did a little pounding, flattened it out a little bit. I'm just going to do a little polishing of the sharp edges and little pokers on there. Alright, we've played with that enough. This is how you can take the longest time you possibly can think of to make a simple project. I always over-engineer. Washers. I'm going to put one on this side. Not one in between. I want that to get pretty close. But I'm going to put one on top because the hole in the center is a little bit torn out. I'm using a lock nut, which has a piece of nylon in it, which could theoretically get too hot and melt. We shall see. So, if you want your barbecue to go completely out, you starve it for air, and then your barbecue will go out, and you'll have conserved fuel for the next time, and you can get lots of efficiency out of your fuel. So I want to be able to close it off to where I can choke it. So I want this pretty tight. Now for the handle. Just going to grab our handle. Put it right here. Pop some holes. Pop this thing on. Get this go on the road. It's time to make some dinner. On this go. So I get the center on the center, but, oh, it's a circle. And where I go, it's going to be on the center. I just want it to be at 90 degrees from this. So, this Picasso mix. Spin all these nuts. Well, here we have our lid with a vent. And now, we'll turn over our trash can. And we will see how this lid goes. So it's designed to press on like that. Yeah. You can take it off. I think you're going to be wearing gloves no matter what. We'll have to see if this gets hot at all. We'll be wearing gloves when we're grabbing that handle. That's pretty close to the lid, and that would be hot enough to burn you. We're going to put some tabs, and that's what some of that hardware we reviewed earlier is all about. We're going to do it in a triangle, because a triangle is more stable than a square, especially with something that's all warpy and janky like this. We'll put, at 120 degrees apart on the circle. So we'll put a tab here and here, and one here, and then it'll have a tripod set up, and that means that it'll stay less wobbly no matter what position it's in. Got these little angle brackets. We're going to use 3 of these. Put this down in here, and this is my custom built griddle, which is in the supplemental stuff at the end of the video if you're interested. But you can buy one that fits your can, or if it doesn't fit your can, it's real small, you got a lot of loose, you might need a longer bracket to put in here, however you're going to go. But I did this griddle because I like it. It's enclosed and food's not going to slip through the cracks. So I can grill vegetables or you know, little shrimps, whatever. I'm going to fit this down into where it's going to sit, and then I'm going to draw a line, or in this case it happens to be a line right where I want it. I'm in the design of the trash can, and I'm going to mount 3 brackets. Goes right through. Screw through. Okay, there's our tab in place. Drill the bottom hole. Okay, there we go. Got those brackets in there. Show you that there, see? Just look at that. Just look at that. Just right. All right. Sits down in there, fits tight, snug, just like you want it. This is the charcoal griddle, or rack, whatever we call it, for the bottom of the Weber. Fits just down inside the bottom of there. So it's pretty close to the right size. If it was an inch wider in diameter, I think it would be perfect. But I'm going to put another rack of 3 tabs down low, and I'm going to get another one of these wire racks from the hardware store for my charcoal and fire grill down at the bottom of this. And I'm going to put it right at this line here, so that it's just, so this is sitting with a little air gap. And the reason for the air gap is twofold. First of all, it works a lot better with convection for the air to come in under the fire, go up through the fire, and bring the heat up. So that's going to be good. Also, I want a space for ash to accumulate. There's one. I could have done this on the top and it would have been easier on me. A lot of people have a lot of opinions about this. You know, here's the distance where our top grill is, and some people say it needs to be about 12 inches below the food. And well, it really depends on what you're trying to do. I'm looking at this more like a smoker. And if I want to get heat up there, if I want to do a fast grill, then I have a plan for that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some wire hooks onto that bottom grill that sits down here, and I'm going to be able to bring that up with a couple of pieces of wire from the bottom and drag it up closer and hold it closer to the coal, or the cold plate, closer to the food plate, so that I can get the heat closer, if that's what I want to do. If I want to do a fast cook, like grill a steak or something. So, but I'm trying to do this as more of a slow cooker. So we want to have it clear down here, and we're going to be maybe not even cooking with, you know, I'm not trying to smoke with a lot of electricity, so I'm not going to have a hot plate in here. A lot of people do that sort of thing. I'm not doing that. I'm going to either have a fire down here that's smoldering with fruit wood, like apple or hickory or something like that, or I'm going to have charcoal down here with wood chips on it. And I have a lot of fruit trees. I've used apricot, it's really great. Cherry, of course, is good on certain kinds of meat. It is not good on beef. It is not good on cheese. So we're making this more like a smoker, slow cooker. So that's kind of our design here, with this plate clear down here near the bottom. If we wanted to make it a grill where we're like cooking fast, like grilling some chicken breasts or steaks, we'd want to be up here more. But we could also, if we wanted to do it, we could add in another row of brackets. But I'm going to do it a little different way so I can fine tune it if I ever decide to use it as a grill. But mostly I'm looking at this for a slow cooker. Just swinging in here. You can see that it's sitting down in there on its little brackets. We've got a good, man, we almost have 6 inches underneath that thing. Could have gone a little lower probably. We don't need that much of a gap, but that's okay. We want to be able to control the fire. And the way we're going to control the fire is with the flow of oxygen to the fire. So we want to have controllable heat vents, and also we want to be able to put this thing out when we're done cooking. We don't want to waste our fuel and just burn coal for no reason, or charcoal or wood. So we want to be able to snuff it, start it for oxygen, it goes out. So we want to control that. The way we're going to do that, we're going to put holes here that we can control. So I'm going to put 2 holes in 2 of these. So we've got these sections that are, thirds. In 2 of those sections, I'm going to put a hole that I can just plug with a block of wood. So it's underneath. There's not a lot of heat down here because there's a lot of air flowing in. And all the heat's going up. This is really thin metal. It's not going to hold heat for very long. And so, so I'm going to get some dowels and make a little plug. Plug the hole, snuffs it out, and then on the other one, I'm going to make a slightly larger hole with a little slider that I can adjust the airflow. So that one that's adjustable will be to tune the temperature. Once I get that tuned, then I'm probably never going to touch it again, because I'm going to say, okay, that's where I want. Unless I'm deciding, oh, I want to cook it at 325, and we're going to want to open that up a little more, get more heat, or airflow and more heat. And then if we want to smoke it at 225 or 250, then we're going to bring that close a little bit so we can tune it. We're going to do a few more things like that, and then we're going to see this thing in action. So we're getting close. Okay, bottom vent holes. These don't have to be very big holes, like a 1/2 inch. I'm going to start out with this 1/4 inch bit. Okay, I found a winner. These are MIG welding pliers. Kicking around here. If you're working with your MIG and just rounding it out here. Warbling it out. The stretch of the tin. What that's doing is it's rolling the tin through, which gives it a blunt hole, which I like. If I use a 1/2 inch drill bit, which I have, because this metal's so thin, it'll just tear. And it'll be worse than what this one did. This one will kind of ski-wampus on us. It's a little bit out around. Okay. Okay, here's a little piece of galvanized steel. Galvanized steel. Well, nobody has a conniption about gal. I like galvanized steel. Alright. So we're going to cut us a little strip. We're going to bend us a little tab. These MIG welding pliers work good. Yeah. That's pretty good. Alright. Nothing exotic here. Okay. So here's the magic. This is the design detail that you need to be aware of. So with this little thing, what I'm doing, taking a washer, I'm just cutting off right along the edge of it. You see that? That in focus? So that's going to be our spacer washer. And that's going to go on top of, like this, another washer. So you got that little gap in there. And that's the gap where the tin's going to slide. So that's going to go right here. Make up 4 of those. And we got this little gap that's overhanging. The washer's overhanging the tin. So I got the little washers. I ended up having to shave a little more off the side of this little tin strip, but the basic concept is, oh yeah, one more hole for the probes. Just a 1/4 inch hole up here, then I'm going to do that reaming trick so that it smooths off the edge. We'll just do right in this groove. Let's sit just above our plate. Let's get a hole big enough for yeah, see that? Get caught on that. Okay, this bad boy is built. I pronounce this project completed. Alright. Time to find some meat. Hey, thanks for watching the video about making the trash can barbecue. If you're interested in any other optional items that I made some other videos about the first use and kind of a trial run and how it worked out, which was awesome. Worked out really great. And also did a short video about how to make a custom cook surface. You can check out that video as well. All those are available on the channel. Thanks so much. Talk to you later.